II, the skies over Germany. A wounded young pilot struggles to keep his crippled B-17 in the air. Enemy fighters riddle his plane with machine gun fire. Black darkens the sky. The bomb bay is on fire. The pilot gives the order to bail out. A Japanese gunboat bears down on an American submarine. The commander gives the order to ram. Enemy gunfire rakes the sub. The captain is wounded. The only chance to save his sub and his men is to dive. Alone on the bridge with no time left, he shouts, "Take her down." Korea, 1951, a young Japanese-American charges across the frozen ridges, refusing to retreat. A one-man army fighting hand-to-hand, machine gun to machine gun. Finally, is surrounded, captured. A fog-shrouded firebase in Vietnam. Your buddies are wounded. Some will die unless they get immediate medical attention. No one flies in this weather. Wait. The unmistakable sound of an Army helicopter. Medevac. Millions of American men and women have distinguished themselves in the service of their country. Of these, fewer than 3,500 men and only one woman have been presented with our highest military award, the Medal of Honor. In the chaos of battle, in the bloody hell that is war, people discover something within themselves. Some call it courage. These are the stories of ordinary men, people like you and me, who one day did something extraordinary, becoming part of our nation's history, our nation's pride. Meet the genuine heroes, those who wear the Medal of Honor. Howard Gilmore was the first submarine commander to receive the Medal of Honor. Take Her Down has become part of Navy legend. Quite a legacy to live up to, but Lawson Ramage was ready for the challenge.
My family had a paper mill in Monroe Bridge, Massachusetts, the town where I was born in 1909. About the time I was 4 years old, my father took me on a trip to Scotland to visit my grandparents. It was on this trip that I got my first taste of the sea. It grew to be quite a passion. Naturally, I wanted to go into the Navy. I went to Annapolis, graduated in 1931, and went directly to duty on various destroyers. Then interested in submarines, I went to school for that. I was stationed at Pearl Harbor when the Japanese attacked. That put us all out to sea with what ships we had left, and soon I had command of the submarine USS Trout. We were pretty successful, getting us an enemy carrier and battleship. Then I got orders to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and commanded the newly built submarine USS Parche. There's a certain pride that goes with getting your own sub right out of the shipyard. It's hard to explain. It's almost like your first child. Standing at the bridge, cutting through the water, an able crew at their stations. We took her to Pearl Harbor and began patrolling the Pacific near the Luzon Strait. It was boring for a while, no enemy contact at all. My patrol report entries got a little humorous. April 18th. Picked up Sky Lookout, bird, which took station on number 1 periscope. Genus unknown. Sex undetermined. Habits not altogether proper. We surfaced one night about the 3rd day out and got a message from the Steelhead that they had contacted a Japanese convoy. So we immediately went on 4 engines and proceeded on a course to intercept. We stayed on the surface to give us maximum speed and maneuverability. We saw what looked like 2 Japanese carriers off to the west and southwest. So we headed over that way and took aim on the lead ship. Let go 4 torpedoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, right down the side of that Japanese ship. Every one of them hit. It happened to be a tanker, and she went straight down. Then we swung around and brought the stern to bear on the second ship. That happened to be a tanker, too. We let 3 go at that, and all hit. There was a transport now, dead ahead of us. They called up from below and said they had 2 torpedoes ready. So we fired those 2 fish at the transport. We caught her well on the bow and the beam, and she went down. The whole place was alight with gunfire. Everybody was shooting at everybody and anything. When they started shooting right down our wake, it began to get a little bit hot. Suddenly, we saw this escort trying to ram us. We swung around and passed each other, 50 feet maybe. Close enough so we could shout at each other. Everybody was screaming. Then there was another escort. So I said, fire this one right down the throat. We got 2 into the bow of this fellow and put him down. It was 46 minutes of violent action, and we left with 4 Japanese ships sunk and another severely damaged.
Dad had said when he won the Medal of Honor that he was asked by President Roosevelt, as I recollect, how he won it or what happened on that day. And Dad was a man of few words and basically said, I just got mad. One thing that Dad always made a point of, and that was to acknowledge the people that were around him at all times. He was quick to tell you that this was nothing that he won by himself. He really was there to accept any honors on their behalf. I'd say the proudest thing that he ever did or that he was ever associated with was probably his family. Probably beamed from ear to ear when he married that beautiful mother of mine. I was too young to realize how Dad really felt when he went to war. However, just recently, we have pulled out some of his old letters that he wrote to my mother when he was at sea. They had quite an opportunity to say their innermost feelings on paper at that time, and they reflected a real companionship and a real love for each other that I think helped them both get through the war. He retired in 1970, so actually he went through 3 wars. Ramage Hall was probably one of the proudest things that the family members can recall in many years, and it was a submarine training facility in Norfolk, Virginia, which is named after Dad. Dad was able to go in his full dress uniform and cut the ribbon. I just know that it's going to be an inspiration for those who walk through the doors. Dad did pass away on Easter Sunday of this year. At the service at Arlington, there were 3 eulogies given to Dad. It was capped by my 10-year-old niece, who got up and delivered one of the most moving 15 minutes about her grandfather that anyone could possibly have heard. The reason it was so appropriate is that one of Dad's finer qualities was that he loved children. He was just a very warm individual who loved all the people around him. There's a lot of people out there that are going to live a lot better life as a result of knowing Red Ramage.